Today we recited Surah Ma'idah and Surah al-An'am. And like we mentioned in the previous lesson, that these were called the Sab-al-Tiwal, which in a few days will complete the 7 main surahs, which is the longest in the Qur'an. Al-Baqarah, Al-Imran, Nisa, Ma'idah, An'am, A'raf, and Surah Al-Anfal before Surah At-Tawbah, which is the 8th surah of the Qur'an. The amazing part is that in Surah Al-Ma'idah, like we had made mention, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala discussed about issues of taqwa. And towards the ending of Surah Al-Ma'idah today, what we started off, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke about the very last verse that was revealed on the prohibition of alcohol and gambling. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu innama al-khamru, verily khamr, intoxicant, wal maisir, gambling, wal ansab, which was a type of fortune telling, which was a type of seeking good luck. It was also a type of gamble. So if the person says to you, no, you shouldn't travel, or you should travel, by using certain stones or certain type of fortune telling, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says these things rijsun min amal shaitan. It is filth, and it is directly from the actions of shaitan. Because through alcohol, إنما يريد الشيطان أن يوقع بينكم العداوة والبغضاء. This is Allah saying that through alcohol, what it contains within it, and what gambling contains within it, it makes you بينكم العداوة, get a lot of enemies, والبغضاء, and a lot of anger, resentment, and that's why you find many divorces, many enemies, many breaks of friendship is through alcohol. And then gambling. If you look at gambling, people have gambled away their houses, they have gambled away their lives, they have gambled away their families. It has become an addiction. There are people that go to the casinos until 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, leaving the family at home. You even hear of stories where people have gambled their wives' wedding rings, and up until it is something which it's a world which is very dark. And that's why Allah calls it rijsun, because this is to deal with the soul. And when we take our soul, there's certain sins which the Qur'an has made mention, which will put your soul into a very dark place. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks of it. So when a person is intoxicated, he's in a dark place, he's in a place where there's no connection to the soul and the heart and the mind. And that is why his decisions at that time could lead him into destruction. So these are the things which the Qur'an discussed. Another aspect that we recited in the first rakat of Taraweeh, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu la tuharrimu tayyibati ma ahalla Allahu lakum. O people, do not make haram for you that which Allah has made halal. And verse versa, لا تحرموا طيبات ما أحل الله لكم ولا تعتدوا, and don't go extreme. You find some people, they don't know the Messiah and then they just say this is haram, haram, haram. Yet Allah has made it halal. But because of your, like I said yesterday, because of your logic and your philosophy and your lack of research and educating yourself, you sometimes make something which is an act of halal, you make it haram. And sometimes something which is haram or something which is not, you go extreme. And that is why the Qur'an is saying that you should be moderate in the way you approach Islam. Moderation. So these are some of the verses which we read about today. Another verse we read, which is the 100th verse of Surah Al-Ma'idah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, قُلْ لَا يَسْتَوِي الْخَبِيثُ وَالطَّيِّبُ وَلَوْ أَعْجَبَكَ كَثْرَةُ الْخَبِيثِ. Say to them that filth, wrong, قُلْ لَا يَسْتَوِي الْخَبِيثُ, that which is forbidden, وَالطَّيِّبُ, and that which is pure will never be equal. Even if the wrong and the filth and the dirt forbidden acts, even if it amuses you. Look at the world today's time. Look at the types of sin. It sometimes amuses us. It will amuse you when somebody says, it's my body. I can use it as I please. I can use it as I want to. You know, it amuses you when you find people who you know, the discussions. And this is if you listen to the topics in today's time, and if you look at the world where it's going to, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that things are not equal. Even though the whole world is shifting towards that, وَلَوْ أَعْجَبَكَ كَثْرَةُ الْخَبِيثِ. So this is some of the beautiful verses. Then towards the conclusion of Surah Al-Ma'idah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke about Jesus Christ, which is Sayyidina Isa and his disciples. By the way, these disciples are not the disciples which the Christians extract their Bibles from. This is not Paul and Luke. These were not the disciples of Sayyidina Isa. The 12 disciples of Sayyidina Isa and the disciples that wrote the Bible, Paul, Luke, John, and all of these people that wrote, these are not the disciples which the Qur'an is speaking of Sayyidina Isa. And so these disciples of Sayyidina Isa, they said to him, إذ قال الحواريون يا عيسى هل يستطيع ربك أن ينزل علينا مائدة من السماء? Is your Allah, is it possible for him to bring down for us a tablecloth laden with food from the heavens? Is that possible? Subhanallah, we can only imagine how that Dastakhan came down with all of what food was there from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Sayyidina Isa, إذ قال الله, so Sayyidina Isa made a dua and he asked, أنزل علينا مائدة من السماء تكون لنا عيدا, so it can be a celebration for us. Allah replied, قال الله إني منزلها عليكم. O Isa, I am going to bring it down for you. But then remember the repercussions. And this is what we extract. The more blessings Allah gives you in life, the more harder the tests. Always remember, the more blessings you receive from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the more severe the test. See here, Allah gave them, there was no doubt now of the existence of Allah. They saw it as day. That, subhanallah, this tablecloth is coming down from the heavens. And what did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say? فَمَنْ يَكْفُرْ مِنْ بَعْدُ ذَلِكَ فَإِنِّي أُعَذِّبُهُ عَذَابًا لَا أُعَذِّبُهُ أَحَدًا مِنَ الْعَالَمِينَ. Allah said, if you will reject me after this, I will give you such a punishment that no one on the surface of this earth will. Because you will have a clear proof. So this is some of the aspects. And one of the aspects Allah ended off, and I said to you, Surah Ma'idah is one of the last surahs. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, and this is for again, وَإِذْ قَالَ اللَّهُ يَا عِيسَى أَأَنْتَ قُلْتَ لِلنَّاسِ اتَّخِذُونِي وَأُمِّيَ إِلَهَيْنِ Isa, did you tell the people that they should take you and your mother as gods? قَالَ سُبْحَانَكَ مَا يَكُونُ لِي أَنْ أَقُولَ مَا لَيْسَ لِي بِحَقٍّ. He said, you are pure, Ya Allah. I will never ever say that which is not my right to say. مَا كُنْتُ لَهُمْ, I didn't say to them, إِلَّا أَمَرْتَنِي أَنْ أَعْبُدَ اللَّهَ رَبِّي وَرَبَّكُمْ. I said to them, worship my Lord and your Lord. That is what I commanded them. That is what I commanded them. So this is how the Surah Ma'idah ends. Just to mention one aspect, Surah Al-An'am is called the Surah of domesticated animals. And An'am means the cattle. And one of the beautiful parts of Surah Al-An'am, it was revealed in Makkah. And there is three themes in Surah Al-An'am. One of the themes in Surah Al-An'am, we find that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala discusses about His Tawheed. The surah begins with the greatness and the Tawheed of Allah, the oneness of Allah. Then it speaks about the messengers. We read today, Hafiz read in the 16th rakat, he read the names of around about 14 of the prophets. So it speaks about the prophets, Zakariyya, Yahya, Isa, Ilyas, kullu min as-salihin, Ismail, Yasa, Yunus, Lut, kullan faddalna ala al-alamin. Brings all of these names. So Allah proves the sending of the messengers. the third message in Surah Al-An'am is the Akhirah. And one of the things which I will mention, two things and we will conclude. The name of the surah is called An'am. When you study domesticated animals, Allah is trying to tell us in Surah Al-An'am, that's why I said, Umar said the surah is a very amazing surah, and we should all take our time to read the meaning of the surah. When you look at domesticated animals, An'am, you find if you observe the cows when you drive on the road, just look at how oblivious the cow is. You can be driving at a fast speed, and if that donkey or the cow is in the middle of the road, it won't move something. You can have a loudest car, the truck also, that's why even trucks bump it. You know, it will stand in the middle of the road. Sometimes you even would, if there's grass in the middle, it won't even move. The sheep, if you notice, even if you go to the abattoir places where you're slaughtering, they look up. That's why they say you should cover when you're slaughtering, because they look and see you slaughtering and then go back and eat again. And so one of the links is that Allah is saying, do not be oblivious like the An'am. Take your heed and read the surah. Surah Al-An'am. Look at the qualities of these animals, and that's why Allah in the Qur'an says, Ulaika kal-an'am. Some people, they are like domesticated animals. They are human beings, and they are like domesticated animals. And some are even worse than that cow that stands in the middle of the road and doesn't even know it's standing on the highway. Some people are even more worse. And you know, if you look in the world today, you see them. The last verse, last rakat, we read something. وَلَا تَسُبُّوا الَّذِينَ يَدْعُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ. Do not swear other people's gods. No matter what they worship, you have no permission to swear or mistreat or ill-treat anybody's God. Allah says, what can happen? فَيَسُبُّوا اللَّهِ. Because in retaliation, they might swear Allah because of you. ادعو إلى سبيل ربك بالموعظة. Call towards your Allah with beauty. Allah sent Musa to Fir'aun and he said, Fir'aun used to say, أَنَا رَبُّكُمُ الْأَعْلَى, I'm your biggest Lord. He rejected Allah, he said, I am God. Allah said, Musa, take Harun, فَقُولَا لَهُ قَوْلًا لَيِّنًا. Speak to him in a soft, kind, soft tone, with kind words. لَأَلَّا, maybe it will make his heart return back to me. So, وَلَا تَسُبُّوا الَّذِينَ يَدْعُونَ. And in the Maliki madhab, Imam Malik pulled out a law, which we call maxims in usul al-fiqh. He pulled out a law from this verse. It's called Saddu Dhara'i, which is blocking that pathway. So what does it mean? It means in life, don't do transactions or don't do things which could lead to you fighting with somebody. We call it Saddu Dhara'i. So sometimes certain things like abortion, certain things not abortion. I'll just give you one example. In the past, you had where the woman used to, they call them, where a woman to keep the baby, say for example your wife's womb, she can't keep the baby. And what would happen is sometimes a man would have a second wife or whatever, and could you transfer that womb or the embryo into the womb of the first mother? So they call them surrogate mothers. So surrogate mothers mean that another woman will carry the embryo of another woman. And so the ulama, for the longest of times, they were in dispute. And one of the leading scholars like Sheikh Yusuf Qaradawi, they said it's not allowed. So they asked him, what's his proof? He said, Saddu Dhara'i. So they asked him, how is it Saddu Dhara'i? He said, because sometimes the first woman will keep that baby of the other woman and a bond will come. And when it's time to give over, sometimes they feel that. An amazing few years back I read one of the surrogate mothers who was carrying the child of another woman didn't want to give back the child. And they even went to court. So this is how these masail are used, Saddu Dhara'i. But But in actual fact, respected listeners, this is the beauty and how ulama pondered over extracting lessons from the Quran. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us understanding. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillah.